Wherever I go, the wind follows. And the wind, it smells like rain.
Oh, what's that? Sentinel Spider-Man Noir. All right, let's get into this. So, this is like my second time having a Sentinel figure. Let's look at the box here while I'm speaking. Ooh, this is a wide box. That side is very nice. The product images on this box are pretty top tier. The windows, they're pretty small, but there they are. Very nice image in the front, by the way. So this is my second Sentinel figure. I don't really collect a lot in this line. I don't even know if Sentinel has any other figures other than the Spider-Verse. There's the back, very, very nice. The top is just the Into the Spider-Verse logo, and this is for the first movie. And the bottom, just some text that I can't read. Most of it I can't read. So, what is a Sentinel? I have no clue. I have no idea. I do know I have the Miles version because I'm trying to collect these Into the Spider-Verse figures now. And this company is perplexing to me. I was having so much trouble trying to figure out if this was even real and not a KO. But I mean, I'm pretty sure it's real. I'm pretty sure this is real. They have a lot of KOs of their figures, and the prices range so wildly. Like, I saw this guy for $200, and I got him for $80. And so I don't know what people are I don't know what they're doing today. I don't know what's happening with the figure scene right now, but yeah, I got him for $80. I'm pretty sure he's real. We'll unbox him and we'll check. But yeah, this so far, real or not, the box and the artwork are pretty darn good. I love this. The size is also it's so chunky. I love it. And actually, the same thing happened with the Miles version, where I was just trying to look up and down the internet to see what was real and what was a KO. And the Miles as well was pretty cheap. And again, I saw wild arrays of prices on eBay. Like, it was crazy how much people were charging for the Miles and then how little people were charging for them. So far, I think this is a real figure. Only because the only reference I have is just the packaging. On the internet, real Sentinel figures come packaged like this, and fake ones just don't have any plastic at all. Any other indication? I have no clue, just by the packaging. But I mean, of course, the figure itself, you can tell it's fake. Like, it won't look as big or as detailed, or I think there are a couple of things that are weird about the KO version, and also the horrible plastic smell. Apparently, it's got a pretty bad plastic smell. This guy looks so clean. Like, the black paint they used on this guy is so good. I don't even, well, is it plastic that they paint this figure? I think they painted him. I don't know. But that matte, almost like matte pearlescent black on black, I don't even know. It just looks fantastic on him. And let's take a look at the figure here real quick. I had to build them a little bit before I even say anything else. You could probably tell in the actual box when I showed it that the back parts of his jacket are separate pieces. They are articulated, and so are these little, like the thing that holds his jacket together. Nope, nobody uses those. No, nobody uses those. These are some beautifully sculpted everything. This is just a beautifully sculpted figure. Like, whoever cooked in Sentinel with this guy, whoever is the designer is really cooking in Sentinel. Like, maybe the Miles wasn't the best for a lot of people, but I don't know. So this is how the second tray of accessories is displayed. And I don't know if you can see, there's like a few more hands, some thwippers, a little match, and then this gun. I'm gonna take it out real quick. So this right here is what I'm talking about. And it's a weird looking gun. Like, I don't know the model for this pistol specifically, but it has a very weird tip, and if you can see, he actually has a holster, and it don't fit right. Like, oh, that sucks. Like, he has a holster and it's actually hollow on the inside, like it should be fitting a gun. Like, he can definitely hold this with another hand, but it doesn't fit on his holster. However, under the base that is included with this figure is a little bag. And no, I did not put that bag in there. I did not receive this separately or anything. This is how it comes. Look at that. The actual gun that fits in the holster. And I'll demonstrate here that it does fit. Fits quite snug, or not snug, it's nice and like secured in there, and just loose enough that it's not a hassle to take it out. But yeah, that's a little strange. I don't know why that's a thing with a Sentinel, but it is. I mean, I'm glad they included this, and now you can have like you can have them like dual wielding pistols. One of them looks a little bit weird, but it's still kind of cool. Like any figure, he comes with the very necessary fists. He comes with another set of fists, but these ones, of course, hold his webs. He comes with these very beautifully sculpted, relaxed hands. And let's just take a look. Look at that. That is so much detail. Like, the sculpt on this guy is fantastic. This is so good. These are just like open hands. I don't really know what to call them. They're not really relaxed. It's more like maybe swinging and you just don't want like his other hand to be closed, or just, you know, they have a lot of range. Again, another excellent set of beautifully sculpted hands. These are the web crawling hands. Wall crawling, not web crawling, come on. A pair of hands where he can hold his hat, and the other pair can also hold his hat, but can also hold this little, what is that, like a matchstick accessory? I think there's a joke in the movie where he's like, I just hold matchsticks till they burn the tips of his finger to like feel something, but they clearly go out before before the fire even reaches his finger. But yeah, it's a very nice accessory to include. That's kind of it. That reference is there for like 2 seconds, like, and they still included the freaking matchstick, but it looks great. This singular hand, which is meant to hold his pistol, and I wish we could have gotten 2 of these. I wish we could have gotten a pair. It's only just one hand. I said earlier that, you know, now you can like dual wield or have them dual wielding pistols, but I guess not. And finally, yes, finally. Right? I don't got any more accessories. I guess we're missing one more thing. The web shooter hands, and yes, the webs are attached to the actual thwippers. As you can see, they are thwippers, but the webs are attached to them. I don't think they are removable, and even if they were, there's probably going to be a big gap in his hands. They're not bad. They look fantastic. I don't know what to think about them, just because you could just make your own webs, you know, and feed it onto his hand or connect it in a certain way. But these actually look really, really well. I personally like making my own webs, and you can still do that with him. Like, he doesn't need to just have these thwippers. But, you know, sometimes maybe you want a longer web coming out of the thwippers hand pose. But it's not bad. I still like it. I like that it's included, and it's not bad. Like, I don't know. I am kind of conflicted. Like, I wish it didn't come with the webs already attached to them, but I'm also not completely hating the idea. And finally, for the last accessory is him, or his face sculpt, without his hat. And this is what the other one looks like. Yep. He got a nice little block on his head for the hat to be secured on. And that is it for accessories. Next segment, please. All right, articulation. Let's get straight into this. The arms can go this high, and mind you, he's got like this jacket, like these shoulders, right? And you'd think, oh, they can't go that high. The engineering for this guy is insane. Like, he can do some pretty crazy stretches. Even though it looks a little bit weird, he can go this high up. He doesn't have a bicep swivel, but he does have articulation at the wrist, and he does have a little rocker in there. It's very minimal because of his jacket, but it does work. It does work. His head is on a neck peg and a ball peg, and with all that range, he can look this high up, and he is most certainly looking up. That's nice. And then this far down, he can look very, very down. That's very good range. Torso can go this far forwards, and even with all the plastic on him, it can go this far back. He can kick yay high. And I want to show you when you spread his legs. That sounds awful, but when you do this, when he tries to do the splits, he's got a ball joint in this like socket thing. It's some really nice engineering. Like, it gives him a lot of range. Like, I don't know, that just looks fantastic. It does look a little bit weird here, but I mean, what figure doesn't look weird when you try to do this to them? We most certainly do have a thigh swivel, double jointed knees. Wow, that is crazy. And finally, for the ankles, we do have swivel. We have this far down, this far up. Not bad for his range. And we do have rocker, which is very good. And a toe hinge, of course. Any of these figures must have a toe hinge, and it's a really nice toe hinge. Like, that is not shallow at all. Like, that seems very natural, and it even goes down. This way it looks a little bit goofy, but it can do it. I mean, if you want. He also has some pretty great range, just moving. Look at that. He can just move his torso in any direction, really. It's pretty fantastic how that area is working. And I think finally, we might be getting to the last articulation bit here. The coat itself is articulated. So I did say previously that I had to build it a little bit. These two coat pieces peg into his upper jacket part, and so do these little, I don't know what they're called, but yes, these two pieces of fabric also hook on to the back part of his jacket, and they are articulated completely. They have swivel, they can move back and forth, you can have them angled in any direction really, and of course the jacket itself can be posed upward and downwards, and it can even rotate as well if you need that. And that is very nice. This is the primordial reason why I got this figure, because I don't know, soft goods, again, they're nice and all, but some of them have an expiration date. And not only that, this just looked gorgeously sculpted. Like, this just looks fantastic in any pose he's in. I don't know, something about this plastic, this sculpting, just made the figure 10 times more worth the price. Especially that pretty low price for all the stuff he comes with. Like, this guy is stacked with accessories and features. All right, so let's get some comparisons going. And why not start with the Blue Bomber? I mean, why not, you know? It's not like they're supposed to be together, but I just wanted to show you a little Jada Mega Man next to the Sentinel Spider-Man Noir. We cannot do a comparison video. Again, I repeat myself, we cannot do a comparison video without including the ever illustrious Guile. And I mean, of course, we can't do a comparison video without Goku either. Like, this guy needs to be included. This guy's the first, and he will forever be in my comparisons. And why not? Let's bring out another short king, probably the short prince, the greatest short prince, that's for sure. Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. All right, so final thoughts and rating. This figure is so worth it. Like, the sculpting, the painting, the accessories. This guy has a stand, yes. I did not show it, but this guy has one of those. I mean, it has a Sentinel stand, which is very different. It's kind of good. Um, kinda. It's a little bit big, but I mean, you can connect a lot of Sentinel figures to one stand, and that'll be like a nice big centerpiece for your display, but it is a little bit big. And the clamps on them are kind of weak. You can see there's no screws on the actual clamps. But other than that, that's the only negative I got. Maybe he can't stand very well in some poses, but that's why we got the stand, right? And who collects figures and doesn't have a couple of stands just sitting around somewhere? Like, this guy has no drawbacks. Again, the only other thing I could really criticize this guy on is maybe you prefer soft goods. However, I do not. I do like some soft goods on some figures. They really are necessary, but not for this guy. This guy is just, he looks like he just swang straight out of the movie. He looks fantastic. Nicolas Cage has never had a better looking figure, I'm telling you. Yeah, this guy's just great. The articulation is fantastic. The engineering is great. He may not have and I feel like they could have implemented it. The only other thing that I may knock some points off is he has no bicep swivel, sadly. I did mention that. And he could definitely benefit from a bicep swivel, but it's all right. He honestly doesn't need it too much. But it would have been nice to include it. Other than that, everything else with the articulation is stunning. Like, this figure can get into some outrageous poses, and with that, pretty much that, I was gonna say cape, but it's a trench coat. That trench coat just gives him so much value, so much dimension, so much playability, so much posability. This guy just exudes coolness. This is a cool figure. This is what I like to see with my figures. Like, this is so close to a 10. Like, even with the very little minor things, I mean, there's just so much this guy comes with and so much that he can do. But he's definitely getting a 9. He's getting a 9 out of 10. This guy deserves that 9. He is definitely a 9. It's 100% a 9. And if I could, like, I would give him a 10. But I'm trying to be realistic. I don't want to give every figure a 10. A lot of my figures I consider 9s. But yeah, the QC issues on this guy are so minimal. Like, the paint apps are spot on. It's fantastic. And if you can get this guy for the price that I got him or less, which for some reason these Sentinel figures are going down on the price, or yeah, I haven't really seen these figures go any higher. Of course, I did mention that there are some people selling them for like $200 for some reason. I don't understand why, but I have found a fair amount of sellers that are giving these guys out for $80, maybe $70. Like, some figure arts exclusive events cost $90 and they don't come with as many accessories as this guy have. Not to mention the stand. You know, this guy even comes with a stand. All the Sentinel figures come with stands, and the stand is pretty hefty. Like, even though it is a weird stand, it's a pretty serviceable stand. It looks nice, and it's kind of sturdy. It's pretty sturdy. It's got screws where it needs to have screws. It sadly doesn't have screws on the actual pinching part, but you know, yeah, it's not bad. This guy just does things that other figure brands wish their figures could do. And that's why he's getting such a high rating. He really does deserve it. But other than that, this guy, Spider Noir, is a fantastic figure, and I recommend him fully, especially for that price tag. Jesus, that is such a nice price. Like, again, I was concerned that it was a fake figure because of the price tag. Like I was nervous when I got him. I was like, man, is this is gonna be a knockoff for sure. And of course, knockoffs are never that cheap, like, or never that expensive, forgive me. They're always like around 20, 30, maybe even 40 bucks. Never do they reach the $80 price point, but I thought I was just gonna get ripped off. I honestly thought I was gonna get ripped off just because this figure looks so good. I don't know how much, or if they're even still making the Sentinel Spider-Verse figures, but like I said, I buy most of my figures on eBay, and that's not from the official site, of course, so it's normally from people that have a bunch of them, or, you know, just people reselling them. However, that has been it for the Sentinel Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse Spider Noir. Wow, that's a lot. Thank you for watching, and I'll definitely be back with more figures.
And I wonder what you got, you rascal, you.